Hi everyone, so I've listened to a couple of songs that I've recorded in the past, and I've watched a bunch of movies that I've made with a kind of reaction of, ooh, didn't quite hit the spot, it didn't quite translate in my head, it didn't quite come across what I was trying to convey, not so much in the storytelling, but in the execution, the way it was put together. And that's because of the dilemma that we can have as creatives and artists in using limited equipment. Now, I want to be careful with the way I say cheap equipment, but when you're struggling for money and there isn't much money and there isn't much time, you do have to work with what you've got. So, on the other hand, when I've done other projects, I've been completely amazed by what I've produced and what I've seen with the limited technology that I've got. So, I suppose this video is just a way to, one, encourage you to keep going no matter in whatever way you do it. If you have a vision, try and get it onto the screen, get it onto a recording, no matter with what limited technology that you have, and make something work. I don't think we should go out of our way to be purposefully cheap. However, there are times as creatives where we have to work with a shoestring budget, and we have to make things as not as expensive as we can. And there are some great magic tricks that you can use with limited technology in order to save a lot of money and save a lot of time. But here's just my little it's heavy, my little box of gadgets here that I'm going to show you. Now, the first one that I want to show you is that when I've made movies in the past, I kid you not, it's all been just done on a phone. There are some cameras here. Sorry, dropping stuff. I do have some cameras. What's that? Sony. Although this one is more for photography, I think, than filming. So I've wanted to experiment with different 4K cameras, and I just haven't had the money or access to them. So all previous films that I've made with a phone. This is a new phone now, but check out my videos, and that's at least 3 phones. Over the course of 5 years. These things are pretty cool. It's a camera for when I'm doing art. I find it really hard getting phones on tripods and trying to get the shot while I'm doing art drawing. Whereas this, you plug it into the USB and it has a light. You just press it, and you have a direct camera that will film above the picture. So that's really cool. When I've been doing music, I've sometimes got guitar amps and put them next to the microphone on the Apple Mac, but the distortion comes across a bit rough sometimes. So you get these boxes, and that will allow you to get guitar samples, guitars and bass onto GarageBand or Logic. These little handheld tripods are really cool. You hold it like that, and that will give you the Steadicam. They do attach to stand-in tripods as well. Now, with microphones, I found the phone picks up the dialogue pretty well, but here you can tell I'm using a microphone just to give it that bit of better volume. But in here are clip mics. I haven't actually used them yet. I think my wife uses them more than I do. But I suppose it is good to think about how do you get the audio while you're doing a scene as well as the footage. And sometimes if the footage goes wrong, you can always come back to the audio if it comes to that. Oh, what else do we have in our little box of gadgets? I don't have big, full music equipment or big Dolby speakers to edit, so I just got to use one of these wireless Bluetooth speakers to edit music. And really, I do have one thing I do want to show you. The actual light is in the other room, but here's the box. It's a nice light with the tripod, because I always found it hard when I was setting up tripods and then I'd have to set up the light on a separate stand, whereas this one, it has the phone into the stand and the light attached to it, so great if you're doing nighttime shots. So that's it, friends. I would say all this equipment over the years has been, although it looks grand and you may think I'm loaded, believe me, I'm not. It is very limiting at the same time. Things do not come alive as much as I'd thought when the idea was in my head. But that's something that we go through as creatives. We sometimes don't always reach our expectation. When George Lucas made Star Wars, I think the film only hit 20% of the vision he had in his head. As fans, we're like, whoa, it's incredible. But to the filmmaker and the writer, it didn't hit the mark. Although I know he's gone back over the years and remastered it, whatever. But it's that thing of dealing with perfectionism, things of choosing your battles, letting go of certain things because you know the technology is not available to you. So, yeah, comment please, friends, and share your experiences of what great things you've achieved with limited technology. Maybe express your disappointments because of limited technology, but encourage you to get your dream and get your vision out there. Let people see it in whatever way you can. Please check out my channel to check out all the artwork, the songs, and the films, and do consider subscribing for more notifications. Thank you.